And it's all you, Andy.
All right, still getting used to seeing all you in mass. This is a good win for us. Montana's a quality team. We played really well in the first half, and then the second half, a lot of fouling on both ends, kind of slowed the game down. But it's good to be 2-0 right now, headed to the Legends Classic, which we leave for tomorrow.
Okay, we'll take questions. Please raise your hand and I'll call on you. We'll start with Ryan Young.
Andy, how encouraging was it to not need Evan to have a big first half and still build that nice lead with everyone else kind of contributing?
We did a great job of sharing the basketball. We had 11 assists in the first half, and we shared it. We penetrated, and Evan made some very nice passes, but he draws so much attention. But I thought the rest of our players did a great job offensively.
Mark Culkin.
Coach, the team came out strong, great energy in the first half. Did you sense the same type of energy in the second half?
Well, I thought we played hard. We just didn't play that great offensively. We missed a lot of easy shots, had a few stupid turnovers, but it was a lot of layups and missed shots in the lane, and then we missed a couple open threes. So I thought that because of all the fouling, it was hard to get in an offensive rhythm, and that went for both sides because we fouled too much on the defensive end. So the second half was very choppy. It wasn't the nice flow that we had in the first half.
Rich Rubin.
Andy, is there one thing you can point to that accounts for Isaiah Mobley having the problems he's had from the line?
Well, the first 6 shots he took, he made 4, and he looked really good. The last 2, they weren't terrible, but he's just got to get better. He's working on it, and I think next few games he'll keep improving. But it's a process, a work in progress. We didn't have an off season to work on a lot of the skills that we normally would. It's a lot of things we're trying to teach, and he's trying to work on. It's in a condensed manner.
Oh, Shotgun, you're up.
Andy, what have you learned from this team in the first 2 games that maybe you didn't know coming into the season?
We're trying to understand our team because we have so many new players, and we didn't have a preseason. We didn't have the summer to evaluate them, to work on their skills, to put them in our system, to really get a good feel. And then they had never played together. So even the first time they ever played against another team was the other night. We had no scrimmages. So this is a new experience for our players playing together. It's also new for our coaching staff to coach them and develop a rotation and get to know that what they can do well and what they need to improve on. So I think every game is a learning experience, and we'll take this video and show them tomorrow. So I think we have learned that when we can be a good defensive team if we run people off the 3-point line and are quick to help, and then we have some good length. We do have to get more steals and deflections. I think we're a good shot blocking team, but we have to. We're also a very good rebounding team. So I think our interior. They're very long and athletic and physical, and so I think we can match up with most teams we play on the front line. And then our guard play, we have a lot of different options to play with two lead guards like we start with, or to play with bigger wings. And even tonight we put Drew Peterson at the point. So the other thing I think we learned is we have a lot of versatility of the lineups that we have on the court, and the guys that play hard, that play defense, and play well are going to get the most minutes.
We'll do 2 more questions. We'll start with Jack Harris.
Andy, how much insight do you have into how the county's new stay-at-home orders might impact what you guys are able to do in the coming weeks?
Well, we just follow the lead of our athletic department, the USC as a whole, and they communicate with the county. So I don't get involved with that. We just run our basketball program the best we can, given the circumstances. We understand that it's a privilege to play basketball right now. We know there's a lot of people around the country, around the world suffering, and we're on strict protocol. We get tested every day. We get tested 7 times a week. We just got tested this morning. We're getting on an airplane tomorrow, and we get tested right when we get off the air. So we have some advantages to allow us to be able to participate in college athletics right now. So we're just trying to do our best and understand that, hey, that it's an opportunity and a privilege to be out there on the court, and let's try to take advantage of it if we can.
Let's go to Beth Harris.
Yeah, Andy, along those same lines, like you said, you guys are getting on a plane now to go into, a whole other region where you don't maybe have quite the same control that you've been able to successfully keep your players safe here. So what's your level of confidence going into this cross-country trip?
Well, I'd like to think it's pretty good. We're taking a charter flight, so just be our small traveling party of about 20 or 21 people. We will get on a bus and go right to the hotel where we'll be COVID tested and be in a mini bubble. So I think the Mohegan Sun has done a good job so far of that. At least that's what I've heard. And it'll be very strict where we can and can't go. And I think they're separating us from the general public once we get there. So we're hoping that it should be a very easy transition to just be even more of a bubble once we get there, because you're right, Beth, it is. Anytime you travel on airplanes, you go to different states, you just never know. We are fortunate to our administration invested in the charter flight to take us across country, so we don't have to go to the airport and spend hours there waiting for the flight, get on a packed plane and put our players at risk of possibly of not being able to participate.
We'll go one quick last one to Ryan Young.
Andy, with the newcomers specifically, what's been the most encouraging thing you've seen from those guys? Obviously, Isaiah and Drew had big games tonight for you.
Well, our whole team's a newcomer, even the guys last year, because they're all in new roles. Like Isaiah Mobley's a starter now, and Max is playing a lot more minutes, and Ethan is probably the only guy that has a similar role because he started for us last year. But other than Ethan, everybody else in the team it's like a new player, because they're all being asked to do things that either they were here and they didn't do last year, or they're just brand new and they're trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure out what our strengths are as a coaching staff, because it's one thing to see them in practice go against each other, but you just don't know until the lights go on, you play against another team. And so that's the disadvantage of us not having a summer and really a fall of workouts because of where we live in the COVID situation in Los Angeles County, in the state of California. But it also is a fact that we have so many new players. And so I'm really impressed with the chemistry. They're a lot of fun to coach. Our staff loves walking in the gym every day. They work hard, and they have great camaraderie among each other. So I think if they can keep that, we should keep improving as a basketball team.
Okay, Andy, thanks for joining us. We'll see you here in a couple days on your road trip. Best of luck to you, and we'll bring a couple players up.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna bring up Drew Peterson and Chevez Goodwin, two newcomers, and let me get them admitted here in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we'll start with
Yes.
let's get the video going on both of you. And we'll start with Ryan Young.
For both Drew and Chevez, just talk about the process of getting comfortable in this system, given the obstacles of the preseason, and what percentage do you feel you have a grasp of at this point?
Can you hear me? Perfect. Yeah, definitely. It's been an interesting last few months with basketball and kind of getting used to everything, a late start, which we got in the fall. But, we've kind of, I feel like, transitioned pretty smoothly into it once we got going. What I've noticed is we have a really unselfish team that's showing on the court so far. And I think, with being 2-0 and going into a big week next week, I think we're on the right track. And I think we're going to do a great job as long as we, are prepared to go. And I think we're doing that.
Yeah, to piggyback off what Drew said, was been a tough couple months, especially just, college beforehand. Like you get a summer and a fall, you get to work out, get used to being with your teammates and hanging out, get to know them. But here we kind of got crammed into fall and getting workouts and trying to hang out with each other and stuff like that. It's been kind of a challenge because of COVID, but I feel like we're a good team. I feel like we get along with each other really well. We mesh together really well. I'm really excited to see what we can do in the future. And this tournament is going to just challenge us, and that's all we're looking for is a challenge.
Again, raise your hands if you have a question. While we wait for that, let me ask both players to talk about tonight's game and how that went and how you thought you guys played.
I thought we did well. Opening night, we had to go overtime for a win, but we handled it pretty early tonight. We got a nice lead, and we kept that throughout the game. And I think, we progressed on our free throws, even though it's still not where it should be. But I thought we played well defensively and offensively. And it was an efficient night on both ends. And so I thought we did well, and it led us to victory.
Yeah, like Drew said, in college basketball, it's hard to get wins in general. So a win is a win, regardless of how you get it. First night was kind of ugly. Wasn't our best basketball, but it was the first night in 9 months. A lot of people forget that. But I think this night was a lot better. We played a lot better as a team. And our biggest thing moving forward, we got to focus on our energy. If we bring more energy to the game, obviously there's no fans. There's, just us and refs. So we got to bring energy, our own energy. I think if we build on that and focus on that, I think everything else is going to fall into place because our team is really talented and really good and we're well coached. So we just need to bring our own energy and everything else will take care of itself like it did tonight.
We'll go to shotgun.
What does it teach you guys that first 10 minutes you get out to a 20-point lead or so? What does that 10 minutes teach you about what this team can be?
Yeah, I think it just shows a few things. One, that the start of the game is very crucial, and getting off to a good start defensively and offensively kind of paces the whole game for us. But it just shows the level of talent we've got out there, and especially with our bigs and everyone when we're playing as a unit, our talent can take us to levels that, can win us a Pac-12 championship, and we know that. And so when we're playing efficiently, we're ready to go, and we get outcomes like this.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes really tell you what type of team we can be. I think we're a really special group. Obviously, like I said, just haven't had enough time together with each other, but the time we have had together, that showed right there in those 10 minutes that we can play really well with each other. I feel like we're just a talented group, and I think we can make those 10 minutes and stretch into 20 minutes or either stretch into 15 minutes in each half. We can win a lot more games.
Mark Culkin.
In the first half, you guys had a great flow. The offense was going well, and even coach recognized this. In the second half, it seemed like the officials maybe changed their game up. Were you guys having a tough time adjusting to the way the game was being called compared to the first half?
I wouldn't say tough necessarily. It was just kind of a different style. It was a really slow-paced second half, and we kind of had to take that into consideration. We made sure to never let it get too close, but it was just kind of we tried to, slide our feet and not draw as many fouls, but I think we adjusted well, and we kept that lead, and we kept that, comfort cushion necessarily. And so we ended up closing the deal and kept a good lead till the end.
Yeah, first half and second half were two different worlds. Obviously, first half we're more free-flowing, got up and down a lot more. Second half, it seemed a lot more touchy with the fouls and stuff like that. But I think overall, we were able to adjust as best we could and just keep the lead, like Drew said. That would have been the biggest thing if we had lost that lead. I mean, a whole different game. But the fact that we kept the lead and kept playing and also kept within ourselves, regardless of how the refs were calling the game, is just a sign of how well we're coached. So I'm just happy for that.
Go back to shotgun.
Chavez, what do you kind of see as your role coming off the bench? You talked about the energy that you guys have to bring when no fans and stuff in the stands. What do you see as your role in particular?
Playing hard, bringing energy, honestly. I feel that's my biggest role right now, just playing hard and bringing a lot of energy. A lot of people are going to go at Evan and Isaiah in the post because, they have the name, they have the talent and all that stuff. And someone has to keep them clean, and someone has to play hard. Someone has to bring a certain level of toughness to our team, and I feel like I can do that. And I feel like that's my role off the bench, and I'm happy with that role. I mean, I'll embrace whatever role they give me. I can do whatever.
Okay, guys, that looks like that's all the questions for tonight. We appreciate you joining us, and to the media, thank you for joining us, and we'll sign off now. Thank you.